Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
This is Banned from Ringside.
Tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast, AEW had a couple shows this week. WWE had a couple shows this week. There were some wrestling shows this week. There was some wrestling this week. That and a whole bunch more tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast.
Way to reel him in. It's a bunch of wrestling.
That's what the whole bunch more is. That's doing all the work. Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Mark. So welcome to the Banned from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Bob Smarker. And sitting to my... I told Vice, I was like, there's no way we haven't done that one, right? No, I didn't say it, but I thought it. And to my left, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
I don't think, for the record, we have done Bob Smarker, but I could be wrong. There has been over 200 some odd episodes, and on that lively note, I'll ask the congregation to bow their heads as I read from the latest edition of the Banned from Ringside podcast, volume 254, chapter 3, verse 14, and the good smart saying, hashtag boo the heels, it's all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat the holy trinity of BFR. 254, that's it still blows my mind every week I say the number, and I would have never guessed in a million years we'd have got past 50, much less 254. But neither here nor there. We're here. We're going to talk a bunch of wrestling, like Bill said, and kick this thing off right.
As my wife says, you guys just like to hear you guys just like to hear each other talk. And it's like, yeah, guilty as charged. And out there in Portland, Oregon, we have Two Beer Zach Pullman. What's going on, Two Beer?
BFR West in the house.
Happy to be back, mostly so I can remind you guys to spay and neuter your pet.
Because the Bob Smarker thing. I mean, that's good. That's good. He didn't know I was going to say Bob Smarker.
No,
that's how much a professional he is.
That's just great to say. He picked on that and jumped on that motherfucker like it wasn't nothing.
You know, I forgot Zach wasn't here last week. It feels like he's always here because he's always here in spirit whenever we're doing the pod. So, yeah, making his triumphant return is the way I should have said it.
Yeah, it's fun being a track dad, and love going and supporting my boy, but unfortunately lately they've been on Thursday nights, all the track meets, but this week it's Saturday, so yeah.
Nice. And how is our big man doing?
He's doing good. I think he got like 5th. He's like the 5th best shot putter in the school. So.
Nice job, yeah. Dexter. Keep it going, man. Keep it going, big Dex, man.
The word of the day is called scholarship.
We are coming at you from, rainy St. Charles, Missouri, but it's nice outside and it's not humid outside.
Oh my God! Don't even talk to me about rain. Oh man!
Well, it can rain in both places, Zach.
It is bonkers. Oh, I'm not like one up with you at all. I'm just saying, like this has been like my life lately. Like, I mean, I don't mind the rain at all. But I feel like I'm like Brandon Lee and the Crow out here. It's bonkers.
You said Brandon Lee and the Crow. That's a good reference, though.
Speaking of Brandon Lee and the Crow, I was thinking about the Crow the other day because I watched the new Batman. Have you guys seen the new Batman?
I have not.
Oh, yeah. I saw it in the theater.
Zach, did you like it?
Number two Batman. In my mind.
I liked it a whole bunch. Maybe I didn't have a whole lot. Maybe my expectations were really low. I thought it was really fucking good.
What the fuck?
It was like very like... The tone was good. The villains were spectacular. They made the Riddler basically the Zodiac killer, and I'm kind of a Zodiac killer aficionado. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I know a lot about the Zodiac killer, and I liked it a whole bunch. It reminded me of The Crow, though. Like it was. I know it's pretty dumb to say. Well, this Batman movie was actually pretty moody and kind of dark. It's because that's how they sell every single Batman movie. But this one, I thought it was very effective. I liked it a lot. You said it's the second best Batman?
Yeah.
Next to Dark Knight?
Dark Knight, and then the Batman. And then...
Batman Begins?
I'd probably go Batman Begins, yeah. I'd probably go with another Nolan before the Tim Burton one.
And then Michael Keaton, the first one.
I like Batman Returns better.
Batman Returns is underrated.
I watch Batman Returns more. But... Yeah, no, I'm with you.
All right, cool. Well, we got that out of the way. Let's get to some wrestling. Jason, dealer's choice. Let's get to that 3 count. Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on,
player. Hold on. Hang on. Hang on.
I just talked a big deal about it.
Yeah,
and then
right. It's just getting ready to run through.
This Saturday, April 30th, at the Grandel Theater.
Circle your calendars, baby.
St. Louis, Missouri.
We taking on
there
the world.
There is a huge show. It is STL versus the world. Jason and I will both be there. We'll be sitting at different booths. Lucha Chris is going to be there. Lucha Chris.
I'll be sitting with Lucha Chris.
You'll be sitting with Lucha Chris. Thanks for the invite. You guys never fucking mentioned it to me. No big deal, though.
You act like you ain't going to be there.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be having fun. I'm going to be on an edible, maybe an Adderall, some booze.
Okay.
I'm going to be...
That's what I'm saying.
My heart's not going to know what's going to be doing. It's going to be like, wait, do you want me to slow down? You want me to speed up? Where are we at here? So I'm going to run down the card for you because it's a massive card.
It is a lot of matches, but I'm excited.
Camaro Jackson versus Josh Alexander. We got Dan the Dad, which is a great indie gimmick, formerly known as Danny Adams, versus Silas Young, who I love.
I love me some Silas Young.
Famous from Ring of Honor. We have a three-way dance elimination. Fred Yehai. Is that how you say it?
Yes, sir.
Versus Davey Vega versus Jake Durden. We have Mike Outlaw versus Alex Shelley, which is going to be a fun match.
That might steal the show while you bullshit.
Gary J versus Aaron Williams ladder match for the Gateway Heritage Championship. We have Tootie Lynn versus Tennille Dashwood. Tennille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma or Emelina in WWE. And if somebody else is known by something else that you want to throw in there, please do. KLD, Kevin Lee Davidson versus Moose. I think this is the one we talked about last week. That's going to be big, meaty men slapping meat,
yeah.
Which is the way that Big E likes to describe wrestling. Which I always like, so I'm taking it from Big E. And Technical Difficulties versus the West Coast Wrecking Crew. And Davey Richards versus Samurai Del Sol, formerly known as Kalisto in WWE. This is going to be a very, very fun event. It's a stadium seating place. There's not a bad seat in the house. There's a few balcony seats left. It's going to be fun if you're in the St. Louis area or you're going to be in the St. Louis area. Please go to metrotix.evenue.net and get your tickets right now. $25 flat fee for any ticket that you get. Like I said, it's stadium seating. There are still a few seats left, and I mean, we're going to be there. I mean,
I think that's enough, right?
All these other wrestlers are going to be there too, and we are going to be having a blast. It's going to be a fun night of indie wrestling in St. Louis, and we hope to see you there. If you see myself, if you see Jason Bell, if you see Lucha Chris, if you see a big guy with a beard, that's not Zach. But if you see a big guy with a beard, that's me. Okay. So,
if anybody wants to send me a plane ticket, I'll come.
Yeah, we know you'll come, dude. You always tell us about how much you come. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's get to that 3 count.
Well played.
Dealer's choice, Jason.
Dealer's choice. I always fall in the grenade, so I'll fall in the grenade this week. Let's talk WWE main roster. A couple of returns to Monday Night Raw. The biggest one, obviously, being Asuka making her triumphant return. I was wondering if we were ever going to see her again. I mean, damn, how long does a person have to be out with an injury? But neither here nor there. Becky Lynch comes out and says that she's going to make the comeback of comebacks to get the title back, and Asuka interrupts her promo. It comes out and basically says that she's going to be the one that stops her. Okay, so my knee-jerk reaction is, number one, about goddamn time. Number two, part of me wishes this was the WrestleMania, I guess, Raw women's title match, just because they had a little history going on. Don't get me wrong, okay? Before everybody falls out of their chairs, Bianca and Becky Lynch was an amazing match. It was the match of the weekend for me for WrestleMania, so it's not a knock against the match itself. I was just playing to connect the dots. When Becky got pregnant, she literally gifted the belt to Asuka, and this would have been the way to kind of make that story come full circle. Neither here nor there. We're here now. Asuka's back, and now we have, to me, it's about as exciting as the women's division can get when you only highlight the 4 horsewomen, Asuka and Ronda Rousey, obviously. From that point, I'm kind of curious to see what happens. I would like to think that Asuka goes over, but we'll find out here in a second. And then obviously the second return is Mustafa Ali. Once again, coming off the side of the milk carton. I wasn't sure if he was ever going to come back to wrestle, but he did come back. They had the Miz TV promo where he interrupted Austin Theory and Miz, and I thought they were going to go to Theory versus Ali right away, but obviously they made a pit stop with the match against the Miz. Ali goes over. Not the big reception that I kind of anticipated. Maybe that'll change as weeks go by, but for me, it was good to see both Asuka and Mustafa Ali back on TV, especially Mustafa Ali. I mean, just the match with the Miz, it just kind of reminded me how good he is in the ring. He can cut a promo. I just think that for whatever reason, WWE won't find a spot for him, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, that to me was the two biggest things coming away from at least Monday Night Raw on the WWE side of the board.
Zach, which one of those returns makes you more excited?
Oh man, they both make me excited. Really, Asuka I think is more impactful just because the women's division is very top heavy and they don't have a whole lot to do, and so I think that helps a lot. Ali, just kind of piggybacking off what Jason said, really they've just dropped the ball with him so much because he's got everything. He's got everything you need except for height. I mean, like, he's even got a great physique. He's just a smaller dude, and that's, like, been his downfall in Vince's WWE. But, yeah, I mean, he's got everything going for him. Such a talent. Asuka's probably the best performer that they have on the women's side. I mean, Becky's obviously the most popular and the most over, and she's, really great in her own right. But yeah, bell to bell, it's Asuka, and so that's very exciting. I'm actually going to watch this Hulu edition of Raw. It's been super busy, and I heard the show was pretty good overall. Like, there were some good wrestling matches on it besides the two returns. It is interesting to me that heard Ciampa kind of turned heel and attacked Ali, and if they let that go and they do a feud with them, I mean, that sounds like a money feud as far as our kind of fandom is concerned.
It'll be a good wrestling match. I wouldn't necessarily hold breath on the creative side of it, because obviously now you have to have Ciampa come out and explain why he attacked Ali. I don't know what the hell you're gonna come up with at that point, but the match itself I think will be really good.
The Raw was pretty good this week. I feel like because there was no heavyweight men's belt on it, that it kind of forces them to actually tell stories with the undercard, whereas previously they would just have the heavyweight belt story and then everything else was just kind of thrown together. This didn't feel very thrown together. I'm very excited for the Ali return. I like the Ciampa heel turn. Ciampa is never going to be heavyweight champion in WWE main roster, but what Ciampa can do is make guys look good and send them on their way up. That is not being a jobber. That is being a professional wrestler, and that is what Ciampa's job is going to be, and I hope he's making good money doing it. Like you said,
yeah, I mean, he could be another, Dolph Ziggler, where he'd make, $1 million a year just putting guys over and having good wrestling matches.
And like Zach said, Ali's got it all. Ali asked out of his contract. WWE did not grant it. So him coming back, I wonder if they came to some sort of agreement, like, hey, I'm not going to play a terrorist or whatever they were asking him to play. My name's not going to just be Ali, and it's not going to just be Mustafa. My name's going to be Mustafa Ali. And I thought that he looked really crisp against The Miz, and I like it. The Asuka thing, it looked like Asuka. Listen, I love Asuka. It looked like she came out of 2018. It's like she didn't change anything. All she did was come back. Now, if she would have interrupted a Bianca Belair promo and had the exact same Asuka look, let's say the exact same stuff, with the makeup under the eyes and everything, but it was all black, and she was dressed in all black, and she was heel Asuka. Now we're talking. Now that's something I can get excited about. It didn't look like she changed a single thing, and she just came out and said nobody's ready for Asuka. Now I'm not here to run down Asuka's promo ability. I know that English is her second language, and I know that English to Japanese is hard, and vice versa. You know, I'm watching this show called Tokyo Vice on HBO, and I can't believe that those motherfuckers, I can't believe that they can understand us and that we can understand them. I'm impressed by anybody that can do it. So I'm not here to run down that. I just wouldn't mind seeing her as a heel, and I wouldn't mind seeing her presentation mixed up just a little bit.
I did say that I missed the old NXT Asuka because when that music hit, that meant your ass. When the music hit now, it's kind of like, okay, I was with you. Asuka's back, but it's the same Asuka. And that was my knee-jerk reaction. You know, coming out, you know, that's the Asuka that most WWE fans like. You know, happy-go-lucky Asuka, you know, God bless you for it. To me, this ain't a happy-go-lucky moment. This is more on the lines of, you know, I'm coming back, and I'm coming back for vengeance. At least that's what I would like to think.
Also, what's the beef? I mean, Becky, the last time they saw each other, Becky gave her the belt. What's the beef? Where's the beef? That's for all you. That's for all you people that were born before 1985.
Yeah, I was going to say you just aged yourself a little bit. There really isn't a beef per se, unless you wanted center it around the title itself. There's no personal animosity. It's not like Asuka tried to cut Becky's hair or anything like that. So, I mean, it's not personal.
I want to see Asuka Bianca. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I know that, listen, Zach said that Becky is the most over person in the women's division, and that might be true. Bianca's not very far behind her right now.
No, I was going to say that I think the WrestleMania match kind of proved that, where there was a ton of investment in the match itself, and then the match ends up delivering. Becky was always over. I think Bianca has kind of solidified herself as one of, you know, the next generation of stars. I don't want to say the next tier because I think she's good, just as good as any of the other four horsewomen that you want to put out there, Bayley included. Obviously, we haven't seen her around. That's who I'm waiting for to come back next. But I wouldn't necessarily disagree with Becky being the most over. Charlotte is probably the one that I would probably say before Becky, but that's just because how strongly she's booked. She has been booked from the time she's walked in the door to present day.
I think we had a different definition of over. Just because, like, it's really, like, the booking, it's about, like, just the fans' reaction, right? And, like, the money that they spend. I bet Becky's outselling Charlotte 3-1 on merch.
I believe that.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but on the same aspect, if we're talking about, you know, just the fan reaction, nobody gets a more of a reaction, whether it's plus or minus, than Charlotte. She is as polarizing as it gets. Either you like Charlotte or you don't like Charlotte.
There was a Randy Orton 20th anniversary celebration at the beginning of Raw. Matt Riddle introduces Randy Orton. They had a nice little Randy Orton package. Randy Orton comes out, cuts a very sincere promo, thanking the fans. He put Mick Foley over huge. He said, I wouldn't be here if it was for Mick Foley. Mick Foley made me the legend killer, and Mick Foley has put me here for other reasons, and he didn't expound upon that. I thought that was pretty cool. Then Cody comes out. Our Riddle introduces Cody. Cody comes out. Cody doesn't cut a promo or anything. Cody didn't say anything this Raw, which is the first time that he's been back that he hasn't said anything. They just hugged. Riddle kind of got jealous because they were hugging. He was like, hey, come on. he's like, we're best friends. Then it was a real smorgasbord. It was the Usos and Elias and Ezekiel. But the thing that really struck me is that Randy Orton said he's having more fun right now than he's ever had. And the reason is because of Matt Riddle. I don't know if that's true or not. It certainly sounded true. And then they had an 8-man tag at the end, and Randy gets the RKO. It was Randy Orton's night. That's fine. Is Randy Orton, first of all, I have two questions. Are you cool with them using Randy Orton's celebration as an angle to get to an 8-man tag? Spoiler alert, I am. I mean, who cares? It's wrestling. 2, is Randy Orton, are they setting up Randy Orton to be the guy to take the belt off of Roman Reigns?
Go ahead, Two Beer. I'll let you start on this one. I'm still thinking about it.
I don't think so, but I think, I mean, he's always that guy that you can put him in a feud to carry over to, obviously the hope for them is Rock at WrestleMania. And you got a lot. We just had WrestleMania. So you got, 10 more pay-per-views, and you ain't got 10 guys, but you got a few. And if you can stretch them out over, a couple series, maybe have funky finish, something or other. We'll see. But he's definitely that guy that you can always throw in there and is a credible threat because he is a total legend. I mean, he has a very unique career because of his longevity, the fact that he started so young, being the youngest WWE champion in history, and then only being in one company because he's an OVW, but that was just WWE developmental at the time. So, I mean, he's like Roman Reigns if Roman Reigns still does this for another 10 years, and manages to reinvent himself and stay on top and be relevant.
OVW, otherwise known as NXT 0.5.
NXT.text.
I'll say, y'all both ain't shit. Come on, man.
Zygote NXT. Jason, what do you think?
Somebody was talking about this on Sirius XM Radio. I think it was on Busted Open, but I can't think who specifically was talking about the Randy Orton and the possibility of him breaking 16. He is at 14. He's tied with Triple H. And obviously Triple H is not going to wrestle anymore, so Triple H is not going to be the one to break it. But Randy Orton, I think, is someone that could possibly tie Cena and Flair and or ultimately break it. If you want to talk about the men's, I think Charlotte for the women is pretty much right there. If they didn't want to have Orton do it, I think Charlotte would be that next person, but neither here nor there.
What's Cena at, 15?
Cena and Flair are tied at 16, and then the next down is Orton and Triple H tied at 14. Okay, so in a realistic WWE world, could you see Randy Orton winning the title twice in the next, say, 5 years? Sure. Is he going to be the one to take it off of Roman Reigns? I don't know. I think first things first, he would have to feud with Riddle because ultimately they would break up. I think at some point they'll lose the titles. If they lose it to the Usos, let's just use that for the example. They lose it at Backlash. So then Archaic Bro doesn't have the titles. At some point, Randy will grow old and weary of this Riddle act or whatever the case may be right around SummerSlam-ish. That probably is your SummerSlam match.
Man, I hate to cut you off, but I just came up with a massive idea.
Take the pencil, baby.
WWE, you can steal this if you want to.
Take the pencil.
So what's Charlotte at, 12?
She's, I think it's 12 now because they took away the NXT women's title. It's either 12 or 13.
All right, so you have Charlotte get up to 16 and lose it. You have Randy Orton go into WrestleMania a couple years from now.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Couple years from now, Randy Orton goes into WrestleMania holding the belt at 16. And then you have a triple threat match between Charlotte, Cena, and Randy to see which one can get to 17 first.
Okay, I didn't think you would go triple threat, and I don't know why I didn't see that coming already. I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
They put the men's heavyweight on Charlotte at 17. She rolled. They roll Ric Flair's coffin out there because he's gonna be dead.
Come on, man, hold up, dog. You can't kill Ric Flair like that. See, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Man, don't be doing my boy like that, man. If they rolled him out in a coffin, I would be so done with WWE. But it would be such a WWE move, right?
Yeah, she opens up the coffin, Undertaker sits up, choke slams her.
I'm the WWE champion, bitch.
Pins Dana Brooke for the 24/7 title. Give me the pencil.
This is the recipe for the greatest WrestleMania since last year.
Well, I mean, they got to keep going up. I mean, they overachieved last year.
Look,
so.
I don't want to see a WrestleMania moment where it involves Ric Flair's death, okay? That's where I start drawing the line on WrestleMania moments.
That's
right?
up to God, man.
He just pops out of the coffin and tries to start selling you windshield wipers.
Jesus Christ.
Go to the general and save some time. So we have this Omos and Lashley arm wrestling segment. MVP does a great job in this segment. This segment, here's, you know what? I got to ask you, as the black guy here. Why do they always make Bobby Lashley go through like he's an NFL combine or something more sinister that has been compared to the NFL combine before? Why is it only the black guys that have to go through this shit?
No, it's not only the black guys. Unfortunately in this case, it's Bobby Lashley being the one guy that is jumping through the hoops, and the hoops have been, in the case of Sami Zayn, when he was feuding with Sami Zayn, those hoops were so bad that it was memorable in a bad sense of a way. This isn't as bad as Bobby's Sisters was or the obstacle course was, but I mean, it's on that same line. I care less who wins a fucking arm wrestling contest. I get it. You know, you're still trying to present Lashley as strong, but ultimately have Omos go over him. I get that part. Arm wrestling ain't the way to go, okay? Have Omos smash some people, have our MVP cut a promo, Lashley comes out. I'd rather them just stare at each other or, you know, have the big schmaz where it takes the locker room to hold both guys back. I know that's old and played out, but the arm wrestling is just as bad, too. I'm just not a huge fan of Lashley as the babyface. I get it. He's done it before. It's just, I like the almighty gimmick so much that I wouldn't have mind having like Omos, and this is just me taking the pencil for 30 seconds. You could have kept the Hurt Business together and have Omos be the heavy muscle of the group, and that'd have been, you know, a modern day, you know, four horsemen, for lack of a better term, in that scenario.
I'm on record as agreeing with you, and I'm pretty sure that Zach is too. I will say that seeing Omos stand, I mean, calling it face-to-face with Lashley is ridiculous.
No, it ain't no face-to-face.
He is fucking massive, dude. Fuck, I mean, what is Bobby Lashley, 6'2"?
I would guess. I mean,
he looked more than a foot taller than him, but I guess they say he's 7'4". He looks a legit 7'4".
Yeah, you can see why they have an investment in Omos.
I will say this is the first time that Omos has seemed really imposing as a human, though, is standing next to Bobby Lashley, you know, putting him next to AJ Styles. Everybody knows AJ Styles is small, so, you know, lots of people look big next to AJ Styles. Standing next to Bobby Lashley, he looked, and how can you can't even arm wrestle because his fucking arm is so fucking so much bigger. You guys can't have your elbows in the same spot.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this is just a shit show.
Zach, any thoughts?
Man, it's weird to me, like, that this is still going, because they had Lashley beat him at WrestleMania, and I don't know, I feel like eventually the point was to have, like, a monster, like, go against, like, Roman, you know, like some shitty D pay-per-view, just to kind of, you know, undefeated monster, like, get him through. But the dude's not ready for the main event. He's not even ready for the not main event. So I don't know. I know he's tall, but he's not good at a single thing. He's not even good at, like, looking, like you said, you know, looking imposing, next to Lashley, because the juxtaposition, and they're just standing there. But in the ring, he doesn't even look, like, scary, because he just looks like he's about to laugh half the time, and then he's just so bad. He is so bad. not even just being like a smark and being like, oh, the guy can't work. And he's just really bad. And I was worried he was going to hurt Lashley in the last match. I don't understand the investment. I know he's tall, but that ain't doing it for me in 2022. Like, just ain't.
What do we think about what Butch is doing? So, if you haven't been watching SmackDown, Butch is now this out-of-control brawler that he even fights Sheamus and Ridge when he gets pissed off. He's like they can't control him.
We all got a friend like that.
Yeah, I know.
Don't you say me, motherfucker.
No, it's not you.
I don't fight, motherfucker. I talk shit.
But to me, that's a little promising because they are putting a little bit of creative juice behind him. At least he's not just there, and at least he's not just hanging out. Like, they're like, what the fuck is wrong? Every single week, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with Butch?
Get your boy.
So, I mean, it does seem like they are, and you guys might scoff at this, it does seem like they are kind of, with Theory and with Butch, it does seem like they kind of are looking towards the future. Like, these are going to be guys that are going to move us into the future. This is going to be the next generation. Am I looking at this through rose-colored glasses, Zach?
I mean, with Theory, I think you're dead on. I mean, it's very obvious. I'm not seeing as much with Butch. Granted, I don't watch all the TVs every week, but from what I've seen, like, his character doesn't seem particularly inspired as far as, you know, I feel like they've done this like scrappy, out of control, small guy thing before. I remember like Owen Hart would like get super mad. I'm trying to remember some other guys where it was just like their temper would kind of go out of control and then they just want to fight everybody, and that was like the gimmick.
Yeah, that was Owen Hart's thing, and he died 23 years ago. Like, maybe they can run it back.
I'm saying I'm starting to think of there's just other characters as well, because I was, you know, there was a big gap for me. But I don't know, Butch, I love Pete Dunne. Like, he's fantastic, but the Butch thing just ain't cut it. It's not just the name. I just don't love the character either.
I don't really hate the name anymore either.
I despise the name.
It's kind of growing on me.
No, I can't do it.
I like him and wearing suspenders with Ridge Holland and Sheamus and him being the one that they can't control. That seems fun. That seems funny to me.
That's the only. And
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Tom and Jerry. Like, Sheamus is like the big dog, and like Butch is like his son, and like the little dog's always like super mad, and the big dog's like trying to calm him down. That's exactly what it's like.
Have you guys ever watched Peaky Blinders on Netflix?
No, I know it. I'm familiar, but I have not watched it.
It's really fucking good, but so this doesn't go out to either of you, but anybody out there who's listening, if you guys watch Peaky Blinders, Butch reminds me of Arthur. He's just so hot-headed that like Tommy Shelby can't fucking keep him down. Anyway, I think that we've done enough talking about WWE main roster. We put a good effort in, guys. Nice job all around. This is the longest that we've talked about without doing predictions, and we usually just talk about how bad it sucks. I don't know if did we talk about Lacey Evans last week?
We did talk about Lacey Evans last week, and
man, she is burying her parents,
dude. Jesus
she's
Christ,
burying her parents.
I sure hope that shit ain't real. I'm just like,
it's real.
Oh God.
Well, they're dead, so I mean, she didn't give a fuck. She's burying the fuck out of them.
Okay,
I put on Twitter that she's burying her parents worse than Triple H buried the rest of the roster in 2005.
Dude, go move along, man. I can't believe you said that.
Let's get to that 2 count.
Have some respect for the dead.
I don't fucking know him. She does. She doesn't like him. Zach, dealer's choice.
I didn't watch New Japan, so I'll go with AEW. Just talking about Rampage.
Shocker there.
Dynamite opened up with a very interesting Owen Hart men's tournament qualifier. Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler, and after this match, Bill, are you able to tell them apart? Before, during, or after?
Now, Now listen,
You stole my thunder, Two Beer. I was so going to ask him that.
I could always tell these two apart. I just didn't know what their names were.
Okay, so who won the match?
I mean, at least, yeah.
Dax. But was Dash Cash in WWE? Or no, was Cash Wheeler Dash Wilder in WWE?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cash Wheeler was Dash Wilder.
So, I mean,
Dax Harwood was
Scott Dawson.
Okay, but you can kind of see where I'm coming from getting those names mixed up. Dash Wilder and Cash Wheeler.
We're not even. I'm just happy that you got the names right.
I can tell them apart. Like Punk said during the program. He said you can call him Hair and Ball.
Yeah,
that's good with me. By the way, Punk is fantastic on commentary. Like so much better than Jericho. Whenever they throw Jericho on there and he just screams the whole time, but Punk just puts everybody over. He's telling the story of the match. He's really, really great on it.
He's good on commentary.
He's good.
He even said it during. I guess he even said it during the pipe bomb promo. He even said, even on the commentary, I'm the best, and he is. He's really good.
No, he's good.
He'll have a career forever in commentary if he wants one. I mean, not in WWE.
What you think about the Dax Cash match?
Man, it was awesome. The crowd was so hot for it. They popped so huge for FTR, and man, what a corner FTR has turned. I mean, we've known they've been great forever. I mean, since FTR or since Revival DIY, right? You know, we were like singing their praises, but I feel like now the general public kind of gets it. Like they're like, man, like it was like they had that Briscoes match, then they had that Young Bucks match like in the same weekend, and they got those tag titles, and just like they are, and they went babyface, and they are mega over. It is out of control. So,
yeah,
anyway,
I was gonna say I think they're the hottest thing in AEW. Like they are on fire right now.
Tag team wise,
they absolutely are.
I mean, even for that singles match, it was a fun singles match. It was a crisp singles match.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
I liked how they teased a little bit of, hey, fuck you, man. Yeah. You know, that was good. I like how they came out together. Yeah. I was all good with
that. That was weird. That was the one thing that I took away from one of the big things is that I was like, okay, how are they going to come out? You know what I'm saying? You know, are we going to change music? You know, shit like that. They're like, nah, fuck that. You know, one's coming out the babyface entrance, one's coming out the heel entrance. We're playing the same music. They're walking not together, but, you know, coming down the ring basically at the same time. That was, a different twist. I like the fact that they had the kind of like the Hitman trunks a little bit when the Hitman had
there was a sharpshooter in there. So
it was a lot of, callbacks to Brett, to Owen, to the Hart Foundation in general, especially with the tights. To me, the right guy went over.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, and I was going to ask Zach first, but I'll ask you first. Was there ever any doubt that you thought that Dax Harwood was going over?
A little doubt, but I think singles-wise, I think Dax is the better singles guy. I feel like they put him in more of a singles prominent position. He had the CM Punk match, which was really good. So in that scenario, I thought they got the right guy into the tournament.
Zach, was there ever any doubt in your mind that Dax Harwood was going over?
No, although they did do a great job of teasing finishes. It was really good, but that was my prediction because I'd never seen Cash Wheeler in a singles match, and as Excalibur said, Dax was winless in his singles career, and it's only been a few. So he got a win, and like Wheeler hadn't done a singles match in like a long time, like years. So
it just seems to me, and I don't like I know that everybody always goes to the Michaels Jannetty thing and calls somebody the Jannetty, which just feels so fucking disrespectful.
Hey man, look, somebody's got to be the L guy.
But I mean, Dax Harwood is the more charismatic of the two. No,
I think Cash is like better at the babyface thing. Now that they're babyface, I think he's actually really good at firing up the crowd. I think he's better than Dax at that. But I think Dax is just like that kind of Arn Anderson type where he's just so technically sound at everything that he does. Like they're both really good, but Dax is like a next level wrestler.
That's exactly who he reminds me of is Arn Anderson. Totally.
All right, cool. What's up next?
So then we had, I think Punk did his promo.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, Adam Page had COVID, so they had to rewrite some of the show. I saw him tweet.
I didn't know that.
He said, wish I could have been there. He's like, but my head's all full of COVID. Not see you next week. So he put it out there that he had COVID. So I think that they were going to shoot some kind of angle with Punk and Page because they announced the match for Double or Nothing, but Punk just went down and cut like a interesting. Like, I mean, not the promo was not interesting. It was fine. It was a good promo, babyface promo. Essentially pitching, babyface versus babyface,
right?
Headliner. But I thought it was interesting. He just pitched it, like he just did the promo as he walked around the ring, and like the camera had to follow him. And then after he threw the mic down, that's when he got in the ring and like did the belt motion, like I'm going to take the belt. You know, you just never see that. Like guys like cutting promos, like
follow me as I walk and talk.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was different.
No, I thought it was a little strange because I was waiting for Hangman to come out and, maybe interrupt him or come out after he finished, and then, his music hit. I was just like, okay. But like I said, I didn't know that Page was out with COVID. That being said, I thought this did what it really needed to do, and it was just basically to announce that the match was set for Double or Nothing. Goddamn, that's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see how this build is going to go, if they're going to keep both guys as baby faces or maybe kind of have Punk lean towards the heelish side. He can do that. Not saying that Adam Page can't do that, but we haven't seen it in a while. And if they wanted to go with traditional heel / babyface characters, Punk can easily slide into a heelish, dare I say, a heel side of his character without an issue. But I am excited for the match. I'm curious to see the build for that match. Obviously, if Hangman Page comes back next week, that will probably be the build that we probably should have saw yesterday. But like I said, as far as I'm concerned, Punk came out. He did what he needed to do. They announced the match, and then he built it up. It was pretty simple as that. So, I mean, as much as Page, I would have liked to have Page there to, kind of expedite things a little bit. I thought that this promo was just right on point where we got the point across. We're getting ready to have the Double or Nothing title match. And
the match is a month away. I mean, it's okay for Adam Page to take a week off of television.
No, Tubier was saying that he caught COVID, I guess. But that's why he was off TV.
Good. I'm glad he got COVID. So he could take a week off.
Hey, man. I'll say, you don't wish shit don't like that on motherfuckers. Man,
no, I don't. I'm not glad he got COVID. I'm just kidding. But I mean, I do think that you should I do think it's okay for him to take a week off of.
Especially right now where you have, let's just say for the sake of argument, he didn't have it. And they just gave him a week off. Like you said, there's still a month before this actual match happens.
There's plenty of time. And
I don't even really think you need a build for this. This is just,
people want to see this match.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, they're going to build it. But ultimately, if they did this match tomorrow, there's not much of a build that you need if you watch AEW.
They got to put the belt on Punk. They got to.
We'll see.
Initially, like, if you would have said this, like, last year, like, when he debuted, like, oh, yeah, like, Punk's going to take the belt off of Adam Page, I would have been, like, so mad about that, just outside of context. But I kind of think it's a good idea. I think Page has done a great job. Like, I don't understand, like, the heavy criticisms, but Punk is easily, like, hands down, the biggest star that they have in that company. And if you're trying to outdo your pay-per-view sales, the arenas are filling back up and you want to start booking larger arenas, CM Punk as world champion is that's a moneymaker.
I mean, there's no doubt. You're exactly right. He's their biggest star. His music kicks off 5 out of every 8 Dynamites. He's either wrestling in the first match. This Dynamite, they just played his music just so he could walk over and do commentary and then cut a promo after the Dax and Dash match.
It is absolutely what I expect every Wednesday whenever I turn on the show. I expect his music to hit, like to start everything.
And I'm also with Zach that I don't really understand the criticisms of Paige's title reign. I think that they're so nitpicky and so dorky, and he is obviously over with the live crowd every single time he comes out. Every time his music hits, they pop, they chant cowboy shit. Everybody is into everything he does. The buckshot lariat is a huge finisher that people wait for. It's one of those it's one of the finishers that like you could set up for and not really do, and then you could set up for it, and then when it hits, it's a big deal. So I think that everybody has been too hard on this Adam Page title reign. I just think that it's better for him to be in chase mode at this point. He's had a good run. The story with Kenny Omega is done and over with. So put it on Punk, and let's see what Punk does with it. I thought an interesting thing about Punk's promo last night where he said he's cool with everybody in the back except for maybe Eddie Kingston.
Oh God, yeah. He just manages to throw shade at the Kingston every opportunity, and vice versa. And I think that's like, that's like shooting. I don't think those dudes like each other like at all. I think there's respect. But yeah, I either that or I'm working.
Oh, no, is there respect?
I'm fine. I love getting work. So
yeah, I don't care if they like each other or not. I'm going to choose to believe it's a shoot.
I say he kept calling out with Eddie Kingston's name. I'm like, man,
work me, baby. Work me, baby.
You can work me any day.
You can work me in the morning. You can work me in the night. You can work me when you want to work me.
I'm dead,
man. I thought I was old saying the Where's the Beef stuff. Now we're doing Belle Biv DeVoe.
Motherfuckers gonna be like, what the shit is this?
I'm even sure Zach knows that one. He probably does.
You're right. I can see Zach getting his boogie on over there like, uh-oh. You can do me in the morning.
All right, what's next?
Oh, man. Shifting gears. We had Blackpool Combat Club versus the Factory now, not the Nightmare Factory anymore, just the Factory. Notable absence there. But, this was essentially the Wheeler Yuta show. This guy was the most over guy on the entire episode. And part of it is it was his hometown.
I was about to say, they better be cheering for him. He's at home. Shit.
But also, like, over. Like,
where were they?
Such a good job. Philly, yeah. And, he lives there with, I know Orange Cassidy and, Chuck Taylor, room together. And, so he legit might have been, staying with them. I don't know if he still does or, whatever, but obviously he still lives there. And, Wheeler Yuta show, they've done a great job with him. And funny thing, they gave the Factory a little bit here, but basically when Blackpool Combat Club comes out, all they do is just beat the shit out of their opponents, which is awesome. You think oh, you don't want to have these guys run too roughshod, but it's dude, it's Bryan Danielson, it's Jon Moxley, and then you got this young up and comer Wheeler Yuta, and they just murder dudes. And I'll watch it every week. It's so fun.
I'll say that I'm ready for them to do something. I'm ready for them to get in the program.
Dude, you stole my thunder. You stole my fucking thunder.
I love watching them kick ass too, but it's time to get in the program, guys.
Yeah.
And are they waiting to get into a program with Undisputed Elite? Because that's money.
That would be something I would be definitely interested in. You throw some trios titles out there, it'd be even better. That's the only other thing I wanted to say about it.
But I think actually where they're headed, and I was kind of saving it, but we can talk about it. I think where they're headed is essentially because Jericho Appreciation Society, they keep saying it's 5-on-3, it's 5-on-3, it's 5-on-3. I think they could, because, with Mox and Kingston, I think they could loop them in for a War Games type match or a 5-on-5 situation.
Son of a bitch.
Or how about this for Forbidden Door? You have Moxley, Yuta, and Bryan Danielson against Sho, Evil, and Takahashi.
Dude, don't make me kick this fucking table.
That would make you mad?
I think that's a great idea. They'll beat their ass.
I think they'd be more likely to run Ospreay back and have the I think they'd do the Empire. Great O'Con, Jeff Cobb, and Will Ospreay.
I'd be down for
Because
that,
there's
too.
unfinished business between them.
Well, I was getting ready to say,
yeah,
as long as we're throwing shit out there, Punk versus Okada, champion versus champion, you can run that if you wanted to go that route instead of. Personally, I want to see Daniel Bryanson versus ZSJ or Okada. Okada and Danielson have basically said they wanted to wrestle. I think this would be a great time to do it.
I want to see Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. That's it. Like,
I want to see that more than any other match.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I talked to my friend Burt Bollinger on Facebook the other day, and he was talking about he'd rather see Bryan versus Okada, and yeah, I want to see that at some date also. But I have to see ZSJ versus Daniel Bryanson, Bryan Danielson. What's his name? What's his name?
It's about to say the greatest technical wrestler on the planet.
The American Dragon.
Yeah, they say that dude. Like I said, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Just kind of getting back on track. I'm agreeing with you on this one, Bill. I'm at the point where I think Blackpool Combat Club is established. We know who they are. We know what they're about. Now, what's next?
I'm with Zach, too. Like, I like watching them kick ass, too. I think it's fucking awesome.
Honestly, I think this is the first time, at least in my opinion, this is the first time they came out and was like, aggressive off the jump. The match against the Gun Club on Rampage last Friday, that's the match I thought they were going to come out and just really kick ass and take names, and they didn't. And that kind of threw me for a little bit. This week when they ran out of, at the bell and, attacked the factory, I was like, okay, see, this is the Blackpool Combat Club I want to see.
What was next, Two Beer?
So, yeah, after that, we had Wardlow versus Archer. So, I don't know if there was any other segments, like, in between. I can't remember.
The ladies came out. Britt, Jamie Hayter, Ruby Riott, and Toni Storm.
Right on. Yeah, so that's just building the Owen Hart tournament. And honestly, a more interesting program. It kind of just proves that Britt is still the star, even though she's not the champion, because I'm more interested in what's going on there than I am with whoever's going to face Thunder Rosa. So I like Thunder Rosa. It's just not her fault that she's not the face of the women's division. Britt Baker is a heel that does not lie. So he's really the star of that show.
That's a damn shame. True story, though. But, I mean, as much as I ran down Britt Baker's title reign, she is the face of the division. And as it stands right now, Thunder Rosa is going to have some really good matches to kind of overtake that. And even still, I don't think that would be enough.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. We got Wardlow versus Archer. And, these guys are just two big guys. Like Lance Archer went all out. He did his rope walk moonsault. But I think this was the best that Wardlow has looked yet. Like, he was going all out. Like, he was doing some real agile shit. And then, like, powerbombing that big dude, like, 4 times. Yeah, Senton, he did, like, another, like, roll, like, where he, like, jumped off the turnbuckles and rolled. Just absolute, like, hoss fight.
God bless Lance Archer for making Wardlow look like a fucking world beater, man.
That's what I think the biggest thing is that, Wardlow is obviously strong and he can, throw people around the ring, but Lance Archer's not a small guy.
Fuck, no, he's not.
And he was throwing him around like a little rag doll.
I mean, he's the biggest guy in the world with a tramp stamp.
And he was catching that work with somebody with a tramp stamp. That's what I took away from it. As much as I like Lance Archer, and, I kind of always want more for him, but I think maybe this is what the ceiling is for him in AEW. It is what it is.
For now, I mean,
I know things
lots
can
of
change.
things can happen.
Things can change, but as it stands right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 45, 46. Like,
they have so many moving parts, though, with all the ROH titles, too. It's like there's so much shit that they have going on.
As much as I want him to be a world champion, it's not to say that he won't be a world champion. Like you said, ROH is in play now. That said, Lance Archer basically did his job and made Wardlow look more impressive if that was even possible at a certain point. Because, I mean, basically, he's ran through everybody that you put in front of him. Like you said, that the senton off the top to me was just like, holy shit. I mean, he overshot him. I mean, that's the crazy part about it. He overshot that motherfucker.
You know what was the most striking image of this entire segment was when Shawn Spears and MJF are in the balcony and they are drinking champagne and MJF's talking all sorts of shit, and he says, and they're not that, like, they're in the balcony, but like the seats in front of them, like if you stand up you would be in front of them, and there was just this little like 6-year-old girl standing right in front of them. And MJF goes, you know what the women in Philadelphia use for birth control? And all you could see is Shawn Spears, MJF, and this little girl. And I was like, don't do it, MJF. I was like, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, their personalities. And she kind of looks at the camera.
Who the fuck is this douche?
I was like, that's just a bad image. But it's also very heelish.
It was hilarious. I had a similar experience. I was laying in my bedroom watching it, and my daughter was laying next to me reading, because she reads for like a half an hour every night. And so she was doing that, and like she just looked at me like, what?
What does that mean, Daddy? Let's not talk about that right now.
Oh, yeah. So, they're doing a great job with Wardlow. They did a great job with Wardlow. This MJF
zero complaints. Well, I guess I do have one little complaint, is that it seems like they're doing what they call them, the labors of Jericho. It seems like they're doing it again with Wardlow. It seems like they're just running it back.
Morrissey coming back, or not coming back, but coming in.
Yeah, it looks like Big
week.
Cass is coming back next week, who apparently has been doing a great job in Impact.
Yeah, he and Moose had a really good match. I guess it was like a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever. Came in as a heel. Now is probably one of their lead baby faces over at Impact. Just the fact that he's even, back on the scene after his health scare and being released from WWE.
I also think he got sober. Is that right?
That too. The fact that he's even here at this point and is going to have a prime spot on AEW against Wardlow next week is credit to him. It's kudos to him. I'm glad it's happening for him.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Also, because another big guy, like the last three guys, like Butcher, Archer, now Morrissey, those are big dudes.
Big, and each guy is physically getting bigger and bigger. If you want to at least just go height-wise, Butcher was one height. You got Lance Archer, who's bigger, and now you're going to have Morrissey, who's the biggest of the bunch.
All right. You know how I always say that predictable is not always bad, but sometimes it is bad? I would like to see Wardlow lose one of these. Like, why not have MJF come in and cost him a match and maybe put over Morrissey or put over somebody?
That might actually happen just because of, like, politics with Impact, That might actually happen.
And it's not like Wardlow is undefeated. So, I mean...
Right. He can take a loss.
Yeah, it would add more fuel to the fire if MJF somehow came down like the week before.
It doesn't have to be Godzilla.
No, he doesn't have to be.
Like, you just see MJF in the crowd and he hands an envelope full of money to a guy in like a white hat with Enzo, and Enzo runs out and like costs MJF the match, or costs Wardlow the match. Remember whenever Enzo got kicked out of that pay-per-view?
That would be a really funny callback. Actually, let this dude book the
I was getting ready
territory.
to say, God damn, everybody's got the pencil with me this week. What the fuck is this shit all about? No, actually, if you could pull that off, I think Enzo is already somebody that, the IWC isn't necessarily a fan of. And the fact that if you could do that, let's just say they did it next week, I think that would be heat on Enzo, Morrissey, and more so MJF than anything else. And I think that would be another, a good way to keep that fire going. I mean, I think this feud is hot as it is to begin with. If you did something like Bill suggested, I think that would be it's a really good idea. And if Enzo was the one that did it, oh shit!
Enzo just has to like set down his Sabaros so so that he can do that rooster walk.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Motherfuckers don't like Enzo, and if he came out and cost Wardlow the match, I think that would be a really, really good way to build to. It's the only thing that I can think of that they haven't done that would add to what they've already given us.
Enzo feels like his whole career is just building to a really entertaining dark side of the ring.
Actually, they might not do a fourth season. I read that on Facebook.
But didn't he got exonerated of everything that he got fired for in WWE, right? Like, didn't he get? No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I think he was still an asshole, though. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, like they didn't like. Yeah, well, we're gonna cut you just because you're an asshole anyway. And if these charges end up not holding up, you know what? Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like when they fired Miho from Jack Patrick's. It's like he moved to Philadelphia. He was like, I'm going to be gone for a couple months. They were like, oh, well, you can't really keep your shift. And then he moved to Philadelphia with the girl, and a week later it didn't work out. He came back. They were like, your shifts are gone. Sorry, dude. It's like, you've been an asshole. I probably shouldn't have said his real name. His name is Brian Rehan.
I'll just say the example of that was cold-blooded. You moved to Philly, your shit's gone. Cold-blooded. Your shit's gone, baby. You can't come back
It's
and ask for your shit's
remarkable, the consistency. Say it again.
Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. That is pretty close.
See, nothing happened this week, but we're having fun, guys. All right, what was next, Zach?
Next was the aforementioned Jericho Appreciation Society face-off with Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. I don't understand the whole "can't touch me," but then there's another backstage beatdown situation. It's getting a little stale. I need some contact. I need something. And they threw a fireball in Eddie Kingston's face. Eddie Kingston does a great promo, and then they threw a fireball in his face. Obviously, we're reaching the climax here. I don't know. I think if they don't do Blackpool Combat Club, I feel like maybe they bring in Homicide and what's the other guy that was in LAX?
Hernandez.
Homicide and Hernandez. They could bring them in and reunite LAX and do a War Games thing. I imagine it's going to be a War Games in Vegas. That's what I'm guessing. 5-on-5 or a Stadium Stampede or something.
I mean, do you want me to say it? You know what I'm going to say.
The Jericho Appreciation Society is the law of diminishing returns, and it's not very good.
I was going to say I wasn't going to go that far, but maybe it is. I think 3 weeks in, it's hard to tell. For me, it's all about Santana Ortiz. It's not necessarily even about Eddie Kingston. I think he'll be fine in the long run. I don't get the sit down portion of the program. If it's on site, like you say it is, there's no sit down to it, okay? This ain't The Godfather.
Well, here's the thing. Is that Eddie Kingston, the grittiness and the anger and the New York type of shit that Eddie Kingston brings to his character and brings to a feud doesn't really jive with the let's face it, the absurdity that the Jericho Appreciation Society is. It's like those two, they don't mesh well together. It's two styles
but isn't that the kind of the point?
Maybe, but it's not working for me.
Okay.
And listen, I love Kingston. I love Kingston. And I love LAX, and I think I'm with Jason. LAX should be used better, should be used more. I love Jericho. I would put him on my Mount Rushmore. I think that he is basically underrated the way that people talk about him.
Dude, we got to nail down your Mount Rushmore. Your shit changes all the fucking time.
And well, it's Bull Buchanan, the Godfather, Jericho, and Kurt Angle. What the fuck do you mean? What? That's it.
You said Bull Buchanan. That's great.
But the thing is, you ever seen the movie Multiplicity?
Yeah.
You know how each clone of Michael Keaton keeps
Gets
getting
worse.
stupider and stupider until the one's like trying to shave his tongue and he's like a fucking idiot. That's what Jericho Appreciation Society feels like to me. If the original Michael Keaton was Inner Circle, then Jericho Appreciation Society is just the next one that's just not as good. Sorry, 2.0 is not LAX. They are way too cartoonish and kind of dumb, and I hate the one guy. I hate him.
I think that's kind of the point.
Daniel Garcia is really good. He's not the Spanish God. And who's the guy they have playing Jake Hager in this one?
Jake Hager?
Oh, yeah. He sucks worse than the last one, too.
It's like, yeah, that's Jake Hager. I don't think they're...
I just liked my own joke way too much.
I don't think they're that bad. I just think they're just new. And they haven't...
They're not as good.
They haven't really been established.
They're not as good as Inner Circle. Come on.
Okay. If you want to break it down, Inner Circle versus JAS, yeah, Inner Circle is better because Santana and Ortiz are better versus 2.0, and that's really the biggest difference. Sammy Guevara is better than
Dante Martin's really young, but Sammy Guevara is better than Dante Martin.
Well, I mean, and there's 2 years of really good matches and feuds and segments that they had, so there's also that. So unfair comparison. But it is like on Spaceballs.
Unfair comparison. Hold on a second. Hold on. Unfair comparison is Jericho with a... Okay, go ahead.
Welcome to my world last week.
It's just like in Spaceballs where they run into their stunt doubles and they just like kind of look the same, but not. That's all the same. I'm just saying it's an unfair comparison because they've had like a month. You can't say one's better than the other, like objectively yet. I think.
I agree totally.
I mean, comparing them makes sense.
Yeah, you can't compare them. To say that one is better already than the other, I think that's a stretch. We haven't even really seen JAS get into a serious feud. This is the first of probably 3 or 4 big ones.
You guys are insane. That's an insane take. Like both you guys.
Dude, they've been.
It's 2.0 versus LAX. Which one is better? You're talking about You're talking about Everrise.
We're talking about the
Everrise.
Entire.
They're Everrise. Their name is Everrise.
Entire group. Okay, one group has been around for about a month.
Yeah, and 2 of them are the exact same. 40% of the group is the exact same. It's Jericho and Swagger, and then you have fucking LAX versus 2.0, which isn't even a comparison.
No.
And Daniel Garcia
You're just talking about on paper? You're just saying like on paper if you look at them.
No, I was talking about on paper and in execution.
Jesus Christ, dude. I was getting ready to say 2.0 hasn't even been around long enough to us to see even that they're good or bad or not.
Yeah, but LAX has been around long enough to tell us that they're great. You guys are... Okay, we can move on if you guys want to. If you guys want to keep getting dunked on, we can keep talking about it.
Keep getting dunked on? Who you dunking on? Motherfucker, you ain't John Morant up in this motherfucker. You ain't dunking on nobody.
No, I'm not John Morant. I'm the gorilla on the Suns. hit the fucking trampoline. Just flap.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's just a weird way to look at it. It's like being,
They are 2 factions with Jericho at the front and Hager at the back.
It's not an unfair
full
comparison.
Of 5 guys.
I think it's just too early to sit here and say to anoint one as way better than the other when the other has just gotten started.
All right. Somebody bookmark this so we can come back to it in a year and see what was better, the Inner Circle or fucking Jericho Appreciation Society, which isn't going to last another 6 months.
Oh, that's horse shit. They'll last through the rest of the year. Easily.
We'll see. Jericho's heart might die inside of his concave chest. We don't know, man.
Dude, that's 2 people. That's 2 fucking legends you just killed on episode 254. Okay, I hope you're happy.
You just gave me your fucking vape. I just got high. I'm all over the place.
Wait. How's it every week that it's my fault? You can't keep blaming the black man for your ills. I'm sorry.
Let's have an arm wrestling.
See, you hear clang, clang.
All right, I'm done joking around, guys. Go ahead, Zach. What's next?
Bill's out here. Legend. He's like, there's going to be more than one legend killer living in St. Charles.
Where's my dad?
We going there.
All right, so we had the Philly Street Fight, Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb, which had me thinking a few thoughts.
Well, it's been an hour. I'm waiting for the first cum joke. Go ahead. Goddamn. You dragging this motherfucker on out.
Related, but had me Googling, Japanese girl Daisy Dukes. That was something I didn't know that I was into, but apparently big fan. And sometimes, when you know, you just know.
Hey, I'm not here to kink shame. I respect you, Zach. Do your thing.
And my other thought was this was a good match that for all of the times that we've seen them, and just we've seen them over and over and over, I felt like it should have had more heat because it, there was just so many matches with Deeb and Shida, and you're just like, oh my god, again, because AEW doesn't run a lot of matches back, and they ran this one back 7-8 times. So it was kind of a big blow-off match. And I thought it was good. And my third thought was that Serena Deeb should be in the Blackpool Combat Club.
I'd be down with that.
Okay.
I like that. I'd be down with that.
I wouldn't mind that. I think that
just like we talked about last week, Rhea Ripley joining Edge and Damian Priest. If you're gonna faction it, let's faction it up.
Yeah, have the women into it, the whole shebang.
The greatest faction of all time.
Uh-oh.
Right to Censor had Ivory.
Right
I knew you were going to say that. I
They had
like,
Ivory.
oh, God damn it. I knew you were going to say it. I was saying, as soon as you said that, I'm like, I can see the Right to Censor picture in my head. I'm like, motherfucker, he's getting ready to say this shit. I swear to God.
There's only one Right to Censor member I haven't brought up in this show. So, for all you BFR
I think
Easter
I know
egg
who it
hunters
is.
out
Yeah,
there.
I was getting ready to say, I think I know
Go
who
ahead.
it is.
I'm going to bring him up.
Yeah,
I already got Bull Buchanan.
I know.
I already talking about the Godfather.
Ivory's getting her check
Or the
mark.
Good Father, I should call him.
The Good Father in Right to Censor. This was their fifth match between Serena Deeb and Shida.
Ivory told me I had to Venmo her $5 for mentioning her on the show. I got you, Ivory.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got $5 on it. This was their fifth match between Serena Deeb and Shida. I'm not as down on the feud as Tubury is personally. I was actually kind of excited to see the blow-off match because I figured this would be the final match. Apparently, this feud started in Philadelphia a year ago, so it ended in Philadelphia. Tony Khan, as much as I would like to give him shit, I'll give him credit in the sense that he has timing down to where Thunder Rosa probably should have won the title at the last pay-per-view. What was that, Tubury? What was the last AEW pay-per-view? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Revolution.
Okay. Probably should have won it there, but then had her win it the next week in San Antonio, basically her hometown. Okay, check mark there. With this Shida Serena Deeb feud, it started in Philly a year ago. It ends in Philly on Wednesday night. Me personally, I thought this was my least favorite of the 5 matches for everything that's happened to this point. And it's a Philly street fight. I thought they were just going to come out balls to the wall and just lay it out there. And it felt like it took a minute to get to that point where now we're bringing in chairs, kendo sticks, the whole shebang. For me, the right woman went over. I never thought about Serena Deeb as a part of the Blackpool Combat Club. I would love to see that. I think that I said that her and Layla Hirsch should have been a little mini faction before Layla Hirsch got hurt. So in this scenario, if you wanted to bring her over, it kind of totally makes sense. I think her and Thunder Rosa would have a really good match whenever that happens, probably at Double or Nothing. It kind of feels like that's going to be the play at this point. But for me, like I said, this was the least of my 5 matches between Serena Deeb and Shida. I love the feud. It just felt like this one it came off a little flat, for lack of a better word.
Is that me?
All right.
That's you.
No, yeah, I'm good.
If you got any thoughts. All right, cool. So we had a 10-man tag team It was the Undisputed Elite versus Varsity Blondes.
Good on this
Dante
too.
Martin, Lee Johnson, Brock Anderson. Basically, all I can say, I did like that the story was that when the Undisputed Elite are working together, that they are unstoppable because they, just like Blackpool Combat Club, just in a different way, just completely dominated this match. Just walked all over these dudes.
No, I was going to say that. To me, I agree. That's the story. The Undisputed Elite, if they're on the same page, and it literally played itself out in that match. At the start, they couldn't get on the same page. Kyle O'Reilly's like outside, everybody, breathe, because calm down. And then once it started to, I think it was like the Bucks saved Red Dragon, and specifically Bobby Fish in this scenario. So at that point, it felt like the match turned. Undisputed Elite was on the same page. They hit the BTE trigger, the 4-man BTE trigger, and Adam Cole finishes it off. So it feels like a legitimate heel faction. Well, let's not say a legitimate heel faction, but it feels like they're on the same page, and Adam Cole's at the top. Now, like I said the other day to somebody that we're talking about this, if Kenny Omega was still here, I think we'd be seeing a different story being told, but he's not here.
If my had dick, should be my uncle.
So this being said, this is the story we have. I'm okay with it. I just want to see it progress a little faster. It kind of feels like they're waiting for something or someone. Omega's not coming back by Double or Nothing, so let's just get that off the table. Knock on wood, he comes back for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, at least makes an appearance when Okada comes out there, because I would assume Okada would be here. So in that scenario, the very
or
least,
him and Ibushi are going to make out.
We can do that too.
Yep.
In that scenario, I think we would be seeing a different story if Omega was here. But this story is good. I just want to see it kind of progress a little faster.
I didn't care about this segment. Don't care to talk about it.
Well, damn.
So next we had a very polarizing segment. I wasn't around for the last week's discussion, but I was flabbergasted that Scorpio Sky lost that title belt. Just flabbergasted.
Hold on,
And
I think we missed a part. Before you're moving on to the main event.
Yeah, what were we missing?
We did miss a part.
The House of Black and Death Triangle.
Oh yeah, okay, I did. Yeah, sorry, I skipped right over that.
That's okay.
Incomplete note.
That's okay. So House of Black comes out, and then Penta comes out, Pac comes out, Phoenix comes out.
Well, Phoenix was in the ring, and we thought that was...
well, just as a little sidebar, that injury that Phoenix suffered not that long ago, it's unbelievable that he's back already.
Great. Yeah.
Because now maybe it was one of those injuries that just is kind of deceiving, but it looked
like when
I couldn't watch it again.
When you have a really bad shit and you wipe and there's nothing there, that's kind of like how his elbow injury was. It was looked really horrific.
I mean, that's a perfect analogy. That makes complete sense. Because he's already back. That should have put him out for a year.
Yeah, it was a lot gruesome seeing it.
It was gruesome. But it didn't break. They said it was dislocated, which is fucked up because I saw it twice and I couldn't watch it a third time.
No, that was
great to have those guys back together.
I think they needed those guys back together because that's what the House of Black needed.
AEW has not done a good enough job establishing Brody King or Buddy Matthews.
I think that the reason why they haven't is because they were waiting patiently, impatiently, whatever word you want to use.
Well, I hope it works out because this is another reason, like you said, they should have 6-man trios,
whatever
belts.
you want to call them. Because I mean, there's a lot of factions running around. There's a lot of 3-team trios out there. I don't see why you're not doing it at this point.
I mean, Phoenix, Death Triangle versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Shit.
I mean, that's got money, right?
You gonna tell me we couldn't put that on an AEW pay-per-view somewhere, fit that Joker in? Right. Give me a fucking break. You get more people. You get more people involved, and then ultimately, everybody wins. I think if you do it like that.
Throw in what, Zach?
Throw in House of Black have a triple tornado threat with ladders.
That was the sound of Zach when Tony Khan announced the Forbidden Door pay-per-view last week.
God, I can't believe Zach wasn't here for that.
Okay, yeah, so you didn't get a chance to talk about it. I got to talk about WrestleMania 2 weeks ago when I wasn't here.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jason.
Tony Khan announces the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. You threw out your dream match lineup card.
I don't know if you listened to the podcast last week, Zach, but we went over your dream lineup card one by one and talked about whether it was a good or a bad idea. Just for the record, you were batting like 950. we were like, oh fuck! Like we were like, okay, here's Two Beers' dream Forbidden Door card, and every match we were like, oh fuck yeah, yes, come on, give it to me.
Ibushi,
I actually put a lot of work into that.
Did you put Ibushi on that list? I don't think I saw him. I can't remember.
We should come up with at the end of every podcast, we should determine who gets the book the territory for the week, like who has the best week of the podcast, right? Because last week it would have been Zach without even being here.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna drop this nugget in. I'm gonna leave you guys to it.
You should listen to it. We tickle your balls the entire time.
I'm looking forward to it. No, I've been stupid busy, and I went to listen last week, so I'll cut that in this weekend. But yeah, basically, whenever he made this announcement, that's what first thing I started doing was like putting together a card in my head, and I was just like, "Oh, bend me over and put it in my Forbidden Door, Tony Khan."
Dude, you are crazy. The only thing I can say about your card that there was one match that we were like, maybe we should do this or that or whatever the case may be. Outside of that,
well, there's somebody left off completely. Oh, Punk was left off completely, right?
Yeah.
So I did amend it because I basically had everything only. I started with Omega Okada because that's just what you do, but then I was like, wait, he's not active, so I changed Punk with Omega, so it would be Punk Okada.
I think you had Ishii versus Kingston.
Yeah,
that sounds badass.
Okay, bring the ice bass to that motherfucker.
Man, this is this pay-per-view. I feel like it's made for this podcast.
Oh, for sure.
It's like,
yeah,
like we're all NJPW marks. Me and Zach are extreme AEW marks, and you're not very far behind us.
No.
Like, this is made for us.
Oh,
because we know every New Japan dude that's going to be on there, we will know.
It's so many possibilities that you can do, and there's probably ones that we haven't even thought of yet.
Who did Zach have against Suzuki?
Jericho.
Okay, yeah.
It was because,
Fine.
like, their
winner gets to merch a match.
Jericho's already wrestled a lot of those guys. I was like, we'll put the old guys together and let them have a geezer match where they could hit each other real hard and safe places.
But like, we have to. I'm looking forward to that pay-per-view so much.
That should be
that's my WrestleMania this summer.
That should be a 2-night card because it's just so many fucking matches.
Man,
it should be like 6 or 7 at the minimum. Each night, you'd have 14 matches. If they do it again next year for 2023, it should be a 2-night card. Do it Friday or do it Saturday and Sunday.
Actually, I don't know who Zach had against Orange Cassidy, but I'd like to see Tai Chi.
Yano.
Oh, yeah.
Duh.
I mean, it might be a little too goofy. Yano Danhausen. Now we're...
Come on, man.
I had Yano and Taguchi versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. That was the team.
Okay. Boom.
Great minds think alike. Especially when you're from the exact same area in the country and you're both white and you both have beards and you're both not very good looking and both overweight. Like, great minds think alike. Other than that, we have nothing in common.
I was about to say marriage, I would like to say it.
Oh, yeah, we both married. We married.
Duh.
Chicks that are related to each other. Yes.
Yeah, first cousins that graduated from the same high school the same year.
Yeah, they're the same age.
Jesus Christ. Outside of that, nothing in common whatsoever.
Not a whole lot, no.
I will say I host this pay-per-view, obviously, but I do not expect it to look anything like my dream scenario, mostly because I expect a lot more multi-man matches. And then my most sincere hope is that Tony Khan and I don't remember the New Japan president's name. I hope that they both acquiesce to allow their top guys to lose because it is good for business, and that way we can see these singles matches and they aren't going to end in like bullshit finishes, and maybe then you even have like you build excitement to where like, yeah, say it's Punk Okada, right? Like maybe have Okada lose the title and have Punk be the IWGP like champion for a minute. Like
I was gonna say
that is not bad for business. Yeah, or either way, like it doesn't. Yeah, whichever, because they can fly back and forth. Like it doesn't matter.
No, it's good for their bottom line because if Punk won the IWGP championship and then he wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Kingdom buys would go up. There's no doubt. Now I don't know what AEW gets out of this monetarily. I guess it can increase their. If Tony Khan, which he's a young guy, he's younger than me, I think he's like 39 or something. If he's playing the long game and he's thinking, man, 10 years from now, we could be the global promotion that WWE thought they could be by making NXT Japan or NXT India or whatever like that.
Right.
If Tony Khan's playing the long game and he's like, someday Okada will walk into Daly's place and be the biggest star and be as over as fuck, then I've accomplished my mission. If he's thinking about it that way, fucking God bless him, and I'm rooting for it because I am looking forward to Forbidden Door more than WrestleMania, more than any other AEW pay-per-view. I want to see this pay-per-view. Yeah. I want to see my Japan dudes go against my American dudes, and I want to see them fight.
And I agree with Two Beer on this one, and then we can move on.
Well, I want to move on because we got to talk about Adam Cole versus Ishii. No, like, we should probably fold this into this conversation is what I'm saying.
Okay, well, then I'll just say this. I hope that somehow, some way, the two top guys in New Japan and AEW can figure out a way that, both sides can get a dub here or there and elevate both promotions because ultimately that's what
100% trust in them.
Look, I would outside of House of Torture, I would say everything else should be okay. House of Torture is probably just going to go over.
You wouldn't make this big of a deal of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view unless you were willing to job your guys out to New Japan guys. All right. Sorry, Zach. We were like, hey, Zach, you can talk about it, and then me and Jason just end up talking about it the whole time.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to it more than the next time I have sex, so that's like really saying something. Hopefully it is not going to take until like June for that to happen. But,
the look on my face as the single guy, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Hang on.
I'm rooting for you either way, Zach.
Yeah. I will say, going back to that segment with House of Black,
those class of 97 chicks, right?
Yeah. Am I right?
Am I right?
Y'all hate shit.
My favorite part about this segment was that they explained away Alex Abrahante's stupid gimmick outfit because I was like, man, it's one thing for Kenta to change his name and get like darker, but I'm like, Alex Abrahante is like, he looks silly. Like
he's a comedy manager.
No,
and I never liked it, and I thought he looked.
No, but I'm with you though. Like he doesn't look that serious.
No, I could not take him seriously in that costume. That was as bad as it got. I was glad it was. Phoenix.
Am I the dumbest person alive for not knowing what was going on there? I was like, who the fuck is in there talking? Like, whose voice is that? Oh, whose voice is that? Is that Cesaro?
Calm down. I was about to say he'll be here in a little bit. I like the fact that,
Colonel Sanders.
I like the fact that they did have some fuckery involved where Phoenix was in the ring, and now you have Death Triangle back together. You have House of Black, obviously, as a trios unit. That's probably going to be a double or nothing match in some form or fashion where all hell is going to break loose, and I'm looking forward to it.
They have not done a good job. They have not done a good enough job with House of Black. That's just my bottom line.
I think this is what they were waiting for.
I think like what Jason was saying, they seemed like to have been just in a holding pattern. Like, you know, they got Julia Hart facing out, sitting on steps every week for 2 months now. They're doing vignettes like every single week.
Well, how's the Black Sky go over then? Right?
I would say yes.
I think so. Yeah.
It's not a knock against that triangle. I think those guys are established. They're over.
All right. So
yeah, it ain't hurting them.
No, not at all.
So yeah, we can move on to the main event. So I was saying with last week, did not get to express my surprise that Scorpio Sky lost that title, and I was like, as a very like big AEW fan, but I am critical of things whenever I think that it's like not good booking, which is rare, or like maybe just like a segment that doesn't make sense, which is a little more common, but still like pretty rare. They do a pretty good job. I was like baffled, right? And then I was just like, you know, the dude from Dumb and Dumber, when I was like, just when I think you can't get any dumber, you do something like this and totally redeem yourself. And that's how I felt.
Man, whenever I picture you as a guy from Dumb and Dumber, I picture you as Jeff Daniels taking the shit.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened to me in my life yet. But just the awkward no flushing in a stranger's house, not the shit. The shit happens every like 36 hours.
Sure.
But so yeah, like I was flabbergasted whenever they took it off of him, and then I didn't understand it. And then we had like the beginnings of a face turn, and I was also confused. It's like, why is Dan Lambert even like approaching like a face, and like, is Scorpio Sky really gonna be a face? So it's just like, I was wondering all this stuff. And you know, they did like this hot potato thing with the title, which I'm generally against, but I feel like it actually worked out because the fans were really into Scorpio Sky winning it back.
Oh yeah.
The fans were really into the skirmish with Paige Van Zandt and Ty Conti.
Yep.
I think everybody came out looking better and being in a more appropriate scenario, and everything ended up making sense. So, like, I mean, I'm back to fully trusting Tony Khan. Like,
and then Kazarian came out and said, and Scorpio Sky said, "You have the first challenge." And it's like, okay, well, that's how you tell a story. Like, you bracket this very good ladder match with a story about Scorpio Sky giving Frankie Kazarian the first title shot. It's like, that's how you make weekly television.
The look
and the fact that the main event was between Scorpio Sky, a guy who has really not been, I mean, he shows up every week, but he really doesn't do anything. But the crowd was so hot for him. It's like, that is a testament to the type of like faith that the crowd has in AEW. It's like, okay, I'm going to go to an AEW show and I don't have to see Roman Reigns. I don't have to see John Cena. Maybe I can see Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky, and the wrestling will provide the entertainment, which will get the characters over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That fucking rules. That's a really cool thing that does not happen in WWE at all.
Oh shit! Okay.
Do not look at the scores. I paused the Pelicans game.
I'm not. I'm looking at the
We're
draft.
We're gonna watch the last 5 minutes.
I'm looking at the draft.
All right.
Calm down.
All right. We're gonna watch the last 5 minutes of the Pelicans game when we go inside.
Okay. I'll just say this. Number one, I'm kind of surprised that they kind of hot-shotted the title back. Neither here nor there. It is what it is. Number two, are the fans rooting for Sky, or are they booing Sammy and Ty Conti? I'm not sure that they're rooting for Scorpio Sky.
One hand washes the other, brother.
Third, and probably the most, not even the most important thing, but the thing that came off to me about this match, Sammy Guevara is reckless. Okay, let's just put that shit out there. When he did that 630 off of the ladder and almost fell on his fucking head, and they had to kind of like slow down the match a little bit, there was no reason in the world to do that shit. Okay, I get it. You're crazy. We all get it. You're fucking crazy. But there's no reason in the world to do that spot. That was probably the one time in this whole match where I was just like, oh, fuck. He really fucked himself up. This shit's getting ready to go south. He does it way too often. Okay, I love Sammy Guevara to the fact that I like to see him at some point be the AEW champion. And that'll be like 2, 3, 4 years down the line once we get Adam Cole, Danielson, all the, the current guys, their turn. Then I want to see Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, the MJF, that round of guys come up. If Sammy Guevara keeps doing shit like this, he's never going to make it to that point because there's no reason in the world to keep doing unnecessary bumps. The bump on the not the steel cage, but the barbed wire ladder. Okay, I get that. The bump at the end, I get that. That bump was totally unnecessary because it didn't have anything to do with the match itself. It was just like, okay, I'm crazy. Watch this. Look, I love me some Sammy Guevara, but at a certain point, somebody needs to pull him aside and just be like, hey, motherfucker, you need to stop doing some silly shit like this. You're not going to fucking last. Outside of that,
I'm sure, I have to think that at least 30 people have pulled him aside and told him that shit, and he's just like young and dumb and just doesn't feel the bump.
He can't be full of cum. He's having sex with Ty Conte. At a certain point, you're going to have to be able to figure this shit out. It's longevity with Sammy Guevara. He could easily be an AEW champion at some point if he just stops doing the silly shit. Okay.
I don't know how he has time for vlogging and stuff. All I'd be doing is just eating pineapple all the time.
Okay, well, see, that's the difference between you and Sammy Guevara. He can multitask. 2 beers just a one trick pony over here. I'm straight ahead.
Jesus Christ, Zach.
Straight ahead.
Fucking A. We didn't talk about Cole Ishii, did we?
No, we just finished up the Dynamite portion of the program.
Right. I thought that Sky winning was cool. I've said my piece. Ishii, Adam Cole, baby. Zach, did you watch this?
Yeah, I watched it on Friday. Super solid. It was kind of fun because it was Ishii wrestling an Adam Cole match, and he still did his Ishii stuff. It wasn't just like an Ishii match, but it definitely had all the trappings of one. Jay White.
I would love to see him take a Panama Sunrise.
Oh man, I probably would.
He didn't no-show that shit.
Just take a Panama Sunrise, stand right up.
No problem, motherfucker. Give it to me again.
Totally, yeah. But yeah, Jay White being on the show, super cool. Jay White has so much upside. It is a real shame we haven't seen more of him. Pandemic kind of slowed him down. So
he's coming back home. Don't you worry about that. G1's coming up here in a little bit.
Yeah, totally. But what do you guys think? Somebody said this.
Well, the Antonio Banderas meme where he just sits back and he's so satisfied. You're like, G1's coming up. I'm like, oh,
man, he even had sex yet.
Ooh, that sounds so good. I love the G1.
Amen, baby.
So somebody posted this on Reddit, and even as a huge Adam Cole fan, I kind of agreed with it, and I wanted to bring it up with you guys. Adam Cole, he seems like he wrestles on a AEW episode every week, and I'm sure they're paying him a decent amount of money, getting the mileage out, but I feel like we see him wrestle so much, and it's a lot of the same stuff all the time, which happens whenever you see somebody wrestle so much. But I feel like his character, especially because it's the same character that was in NXT, I feel like Adam Cole's getting a little stale, and I still love him. I still think he's great, but he's not. I'm not as excited about him now as I was when he first came into AEW.
I have thoughts on this.
Go ahead. I got thoughts on it too.
My thoughts are he is one of the best heel performers that is in wrestling today. The problem with Adam Cole, baby, is that when he's in the ring, he's always Adam Cole, like perfect 100% A+, fucking clean Adam Cole, baby. Just clear shit. Just cut. Just what's the term they use in Coke movies when they talk about Coke being really good? You know,
it's clean.
No, that's not the term though. I can't
Pure.
Pure.
It's like pure uncut. Uncut is what I was
uncut.
gonna say. He's just pure uncut Adam Cole, baby, right? And then when they put him in these backstage segments and he's stuck between Red Dragon and Young Bucks, he kind of gets cucked a little bit. It's like, hey, dude, it's like he doesn't seem as mean anymore or as heelish. He seems like he's stuck between these two guys. And so they make the Red Dragons the heel. They make Red Dragon the heel. They make the Young Bucks the heel. And then Adam Cole's like stuck between these two heels, and he's like trying to impress them both, and it really undercuts his character. Now, I bet that they probably kind of realize this at this point because they've done less of it. But I think that's kind of what's fucking up Adam Cole's character.
Oof, I did not anticipate that. For me, I think Adam Cole's character is a little too reminiscent of what they did in NXT, hence Undisputed Elite. I'm not asking for, something to be, that creative, but just be a little more creative than that. From there, I don't think it's stale. I just think that I'm looking for something for Adam Cole to do.
He just had 2 title matches.
I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm talking about...
He's involved every week.
No, I'm talking about bigger picture. I'm talking like Bullet Club versus Bullet Club, him versus Kenny Omega. I'm not even worried about him being the champion. If he's the champion, I expect him to be at some point. When that happens, great. If he doesn't become champion, that to me is more so of a bigger story, and that's another story for another time. I'm looking for Bullet Club implosion. That, to me, is the story that I'm waiting for versus him becoming champion.
What does Zach think?
I mean, I kind of think less in terms of program and just kind of more in terms of character. We always talk about folks transitioning and kind of like, evolving, right? And
listen, I am
Adam
pro
Cole
folks transitioning.
awesome.
I don't want us to get thrown under the bus out here. I am pro transitioning.
Jesus Christ.
But
In fact, I'm pro Adam Cole transitioning just so I can see him as a one.
Dude, what the fuck, man?
He's very good looking.
Britt Baker might have a problem with that.
I don't give a fuck. It's not my problem. That's not a YP. Or that's not an MP. That's a YP.
Wait, shit. Jesus Christ.
But, and I'm not even like bringing this up because I think, I'm not even saying anything bad per se. It's just that Adam Cole's been the same character since I've ever seen him. And it's a great character, and he's so good at it, and he's such a good wrestler. But I just think maybe it's less about programming and less about booking and more about him finding a story, some story to tell that evolves his character.
All right. Rampage had some good moments. I want to save Hook and Danhausen for the end because I do want to hear Zach's point on this because I kind of went off on a tangent.
Oh, yes, you did.
Last week.
Oh, yes,
and
you
I got
did.
called out on Twitter about it. But we had Lance Archer and Serpentico, and Lance Archer did a bunch of choke slams in a row to get ready for the Wardlow match. That was funny. Swerve and Keith Lee and Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Can we all just get along?
Both had a couple good insults on each other. We talked about this last week, why they have to have all the black dudes in the same program. I'm sure Zach would have agreed with that.
Just band together. We can take over AEW.
Swerve called Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs Calvin and Hobbs.
Dude, I was done.
Which was good. But then Ricky Starks came back with something better where he called Swerve and Keith Lee a broke-ass Keenan and Kel, which
I was like, dude, okay, y'all need to stop. Like, y'all need to stop. I can't even listen to the rest of
Keenan and Kel.
I can't even listen to the rest of this
that is
promo.
good.
I was like, dude, I'm done.
That is funny.
I'm like, just let them talk. We don't even need to see them wrestle. Just let them talk.
Anyway, then we had Jade versus Marina Shafir. Sorry, Zach, did you have something to say about all the black guys fighting each other?
No, it was real funny though.
I'd say if this was Vince, we'd have a whole lot more to say about it.
So then Jade Cargill goes over Marina Shafir. Did you see that coming?
Yeah, come on.
I mean,
man.
I did too.
Come on,
I would have picked
bad.
Jade.
This was bad.
Well,
they basically set Marina Shafir up, and this is one of my
wait. So what's bad about it? That Marina Shafir jobbed?
No, the match itself was bad.
Oh yes. Well, yeah.
I don't
Jade
think,
Cargill's bad.
I mean,
Jade Cargill is not bad. Jade Cargill is green.
Hold on. You and I are in the same place, so we get to just yell at each other, and we constantly block Zach out.
Sorry, Two-Beer, go ahead.
But hold on a second, Jason. What the fuck did you just say? No, go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
no, all I was saying was they were setting up Marina Shafir to, feed her to Jade Cargill. That was no surprise. But I also feel like maybe, I don't know if like she signed, if it was like a tryout thing. I feel like it was a tryout thing though. Like she did not do well. Like nobody cared about Marina Shafir at all. Like that was just a very unfortunate program that I'm glad is over.
I'm telling you, nobody looks like a star next to Jade Cargill. She is so crazily like such a perfect body, and I'm not saying this as a pervert. I'm a pervert, but like I'm not saying this as a pervert. I'm saying she looks perfect, and she is
like I want to like paint her, and I don't know how to paint.
Yes,
sculpt her out of like clay.
She looks unbelievable, and nobody looks like a star next to her. And that's why when you guys were saying that Britt Baker is the face of the division, yes, she might be the face. She might have held the belt for a long time. Jade Cargill is a star, is a star. She's a big, bright, shining star.
She's the future of the division. And when Britt mentioned her by name in last week's, I think it was Rampage or whatever, that's when I was like, oh, we might actually be opening the door
for she's on the radar. Yes.
For Britt versus Jade, which ultimately gets Jade over more if that match actually happens.
Jade's not a terrible wrestler. She's not a good wrestler.
No, I think she is a long-term project.
Level of experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, like she's learning on live TV, and she's succeeding.
and that's the biggest thing.
So there was never a thought in your mind that Marina Shafir would go over.
Hell no.
Zach, did you think that Marina Shafir would go over?
Oh, definitely not.
I'm telling you, before I saw Marina Shafir like fight at the beginning, I was like, there's a chance they could. And then I was like, well,
she's not big enough.
So they made that big of a deal just to put Jade Cargill over? Fuck yes. That is good booking. That's good television. Fuck yes. And I'll tell you what, this was one of the worst Dynamites that they've had in the last year. It was not a very good Dynamite.
This was Rampage, so I'm willing to.
No, I'm just talking about this week of Dynamite. Okay. I was all ready to come on here and be like, yeah, you guys know I didn't like this much, but it's so much more interesting to talk about Dynamite than it is about WWE. Bottom line, and I watched all of NXT today, all of it.
Look at you
doing my homework.
Yeah. Don't be looking at me talking about doing my homework. Fuck you.
I didn't look at you like that.
I'll say I'm watching that bullshit. You're a
nerd. So let's get to that 3 count.
I tried not to no-sell it, and Zach laughed, so that's not my fault.
All right, I won't bore you guys with NXT talk.
You can bore us with NXT talk.
Well, I do want to talk about the 2 matches that you told me to watch from NJPW, which was the Never 6-Man, which was... Yujiro, Show, and Evil, the House of Torture, against, help me out, Tama Tonga.
It was basically G.O.D. and Tanahashi as the opponents.
Yes. So, we got some normal House of Torture shit here.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
It's a 6-man match, so it doesn't bother me as much. It bothers me a lot when it's 1-on-1. But when it's 6 men and they're just fucking around, and it's Dick Togo and Jado, and they're getting into it too, then it's okay. It's like it's a wrestling match. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be main event wrestling stuff, but it's supposed to be fun.
No, I was going to say this was actually the semifinal on the 25th. I'll just say this.
Oh, I haven't seen the final then.
No, it was the It was the two matches from the same card. This was the
semi-main event.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Better choice of words. I'll just say this. A quick sidebar, Two Beer. When you hadn't listened to last week's show, but in line when I was going into the Windy City Riot event on Saturday, a couple of Saturdays ago, I saw a guy with a House of Torture shirt on, and I was literally like 2 seconds away. If the line wasn't so ridiculously long and it wasn't so cold, I was going to go up there and be like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'd rather wear a Hulk Hogan shirt.
I would rather wear a Hulk Hogan shirt than wear a House of Torture shirt. I was literally like this close to be like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Tell me this is a fucking joke or you lost a bet or something along those lines.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
Like I said, I wish I would have went up and asked him that shit.
All right, so Jason, what you think of this match? Zach didn't watch it.
It was fine. It's going to say
Zach doesn't have to watch it.
No, ultimately it was basically House of Torture 101. I like 6-man matches, especially in New Japan, because it feels like everybody gets a little taste of the action. But when push comes to shove, especially when it comes to House of Torture, it becomes about Dick Togo. It becomes about evil, low blows, shit like that, to where now, as soon as Dick Togo gets on the fucking apron, I'm just rolling my eyes. You know how this is going to go. And it basically just went that way.
Let's tell Zach about the main event, because this is a stipulation that I've never seen before.
I've never heard this before.
Never heard of this before.
No.
So the stipulation,
KOPW trophy on the line.
KOPW championship. It was Shingo versus Tai Chi, and the first guy to have. How would you even explain this? The referee
it was
slam 1, 2, 3.
So
you needed 30.
Yeah, the first guy to get to 30 counts.
So if you pin a guy for one, you get 1 point. If the referee goes 1 and then you kick out,
you get 1 point.
That's 1 point. But if you put somebody down really hard, you can get more than 3.
It was a couple times. It was like 4, 5, 6, where then somebody kicked out, so that was like 6 points.
Does this make sense? Oh, okay. Does this make sense, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Tai Chi versus Shingo.
Right.
Shingo won 30-29.
Right.
Because his Made in Japan got a 6 count.
Right.
He was down 29-24.
It was like watching basketball. I was like, okay, come on, Shingo needs to make a run now.
When you were watching this, did you like it?
That's hilarious. So like you can go more than 3. So
you can go more than 3.
There was a couple of times where Tai Chi had like a 6 count. Shingo won on the 6 count. There was a Gato clutch that was like 4 or 5.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to get it. Ultimately,
it didn't make sense before I watched it. I was like, they need 30 pinfalls? I was like, this is going to take forever.
This is going
to take forever, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time like 45 minutes. Ain't no way. Man, ain't no way we going to get 30 fucking pins in 45 minutes. This is going to be the worst WWE shit I've ever seen in my goddamn life. So I was immediately pissed. But then as the match started to go along, you could see the counter on the lower left-hand side. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So for me, the match itself, if you took the counter away, it was basically a New Japan match versus Tai Chi versus Shingo for the KOPW championship. I actually like this match. I'm not a huge fan of the KOPW on record. To me, Yano kind of fucked it up a little bit, but it's comedy and wrestling. These two jokers like it. You know me, I'm just not a big fan of it. I watch New Japan because I don't want to see too much comedy. Yano is about enough as I need to see at any given point. That being said, this was, to me, a straight-up New Japan match, but they just counted the number of times that Red Shoes hit the fucking mat.
If it's all weird stuff like this, like, I'm down with it, but Zach, I'm going to ask you, is the KOBW belt...
It's a trophy. God damn it. Don't even give it that much fucking credit. It's a
is
fucking
Shingo
trophy.
Is Shingo elevating it, or is the trophy bringing Shingo down?
I don't think either. I think it's such a
way to ride the fence
issue. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Pick a side, then, motherfucker. Pick a side.
I mean,
we're on TV.
On one side, I think the KOPW matters at all, but on the other, I actually kind of like that it adds just some variety, right? I like the variety that it adds to some of the shows.
Sure, and they put it on Shingo so it could headline small shows like this, right?
Yeah.
Like,
very safe.
Now listen, of the 5 KOPW champions that I can think of, it's Yano and Chase Owens, who are both lower mid card. That's being generous. Like they're in the G1, but they are lower mid card. They're not even mid card, right?
They won't be in the G1 if it's a AEW stack.
Okay,
Yano probably will be because everybody needs a break.
Oh my
I was about to
God.
say, dude, come on, man.
Jesus
Come on.
Christ.
I was about to say, you can't say that shit in front of Bill. You just always how he reacted
damn.
to
Oh
just
my
regular
God.
G1.
I just start fucking the chair.
I was about to say, come on, man. I was about to say, I'm going to need you to back off that AEW portion of the G1.
Make it 40 dudes. Make it last all year. Make it 80 dudes. 80 tournament.
I say we'll never fucking get anything done. It'd be the G1 banned from Ringside podcast. What's WWE? What? Roman Reigns lost. You're shitting me.
I'm down with it. Fuck. What was the other thing I was about to say? Oh, so and then the other guys are Suzuki, Tai Chi, and Shingo. So it's like Yano and Chase Owens. They're lower mid card, and then you have Shingo, former champion, Suzuki, former champion, and then you have
not former champion, but
Suzuki's
champion.
never won the championship.
Intercontinental champion. He's never won the title.
And Tai Chi, he's somewhere in the middle. He has raised himself up from a guy who was lower mid card to not, if not low card, to being a guy that like it's almost kind of must watch.
Legitimately,
I love Tai Chi.
When
I
Tai
love
Chi
him.
comes on for tournaments, to me that's now much.
So
watch.
the KOPW thing is. Well, that's the question. Like, is he elevating it, or is the championship bringing him down? And I would argue that it's the latter. I'd say it's bringing him down.
I agree totally.
Yano held it too long.
It's not even that.
Well, it is, and I'm a Yano fan.
I don't mind a long title reign, okay? As long as it's, it keeps people invested. For me, when you have Minoru Suzuki being put in a dog cage, that's where I draw the line. Okay, I'm sorry. I cannot be a part of this nonsense anymore. I get it. It's not. It's good, man. I just don't give it up to just everybody. You have to make. I have to have conversation. You have to stimulate my mind and my body versus just stimulate my body.
It's getting horny up in here. Zach, any final thoughts?
Nah, I am ready to see.
What'd you say?
I am ready to see Danielson et al. In a G1, though. I think that is real deal exciting, even more so than a Super Show AEW New Japan.
He ain't lying. I was about to say 1 versus 10 or 12 matches. Shit, I'll take 10 or 12 any day.
That's going to do for our 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, real quick, I'm going to run through NXT because I watched it.
Look at you.
You guys don't have to say anything. Oh, shit, Aaron. Yeah, I'll talk to you when you get home.
They took 10 over. Jesus Christ almighty.
Huh? So what are you doing?
The Steelers took 10.
We have
Kenny
Lash
Pickett.
Legends versus Nikita Lyons. Any thoughts?
It Interesting. I'll just say it like that. Interesting.
Cora Jade and Natty come out. Natty's a big time heel now. Grayson Waller, Andre Chase, Nathan Frazier.
Not sure who Nathan Frazier is. Andre Chase versus Grayson Waller is a little weird because they're both heels. But
Katie Catanzaro is now Katana Chance.
Jesus Christ, leave shit alone.
Okay. Kaylee Ray is now Alba Fire.
I'm
Alba
counting
Fry
the
would be
days
better.
until she gets fucking released.
Solo Sikoa.
That sounds like a spicy hamburger at Carl's Jr.
Can I get the
Alba
Alba Fry,
Fry?
please? Solo Sikoa versus Trick Williams. Solo Sikoa is
He's the deal.
big time. He's good. Viking Raiders versus Malik Blade.
Just answer the damn phone.
No, I'm not going to answer the phone.
Look at you.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
Declining.
She just gonna keep calling, man. You better talk to
Viking
your wife.
Raiders are fighting the Creeds next week.
I guess we're going with the Dolph Ziggler program where Viking Raiders aren't doing a damn thing on the main roster. And it's not even close. The fact that they're not even in this tag team picture where it's basically Usos, Street Profits, and RK Bro, they're not even in the discussion at this point. A little disappointing, so you might as well send them to NXT. Hopefully they can get the Creed brothers over, and you can move on from there.
Well, you certainly ruined this segment.
Hey,
okay,
man, look, I'm just calling it what it
Gacy and
is.
Steiner, that's it. Hey.
Yeah, a bunch of Druids falling on Steiner.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, you watch it every week.
Hey, we had some birthdays this week. Alex Riley is 41.
Hey, Rye.
Drew Gulak is 35. Titus O'Neil.
I can't get excited about Titus O'Neil. He's a Florida Gator. Can't do it.
45. Jay Lethal is 37. Is that right? Santos.
What the fuck? He's 37.
That can't be right, is it?
Dude,
He must have started wrestling when he was 4.
I was getting ready to say, that means he is 10 years younger than me. That is ridiculous.
I mean, not that ridiculous.
Man, fuck you, motherfucker, first and foremost.
Santos Escobar is 38. I'll look up Jay Lethal. Santos Escobar is 38. Big Boss Man. Now, this one fucked me up. How old do you think Big Boss Man is?
I thought he was RIP number 1.
Well, I mean, how old do you think? How old do you think he would?
You mean
Uh,
Ray Trailer?
I mean, if that's what you want to call him. I call him Big Boss Man, but we were buds.
62.
59.
Not that big. I wasn't that far off. I mean,
Jay Lethal was born in 1985. He's 37.
dude, I'm calling horse shit on that.
He was born 19 days after me. I'm older than Jay Lethal.
What the fuck is going on around here, man?
This guy's name is The Rock.
I'm not sure who that guy is.
Never heard of him.
Sure,
he's good.
Dumb gimmick. That's a dumb gimmick.
I say I know who Rocky Maivia is. Now that dude.
Oh, Rocky Maivia is 50.
That
Stu
dude's
Hart,
the shit.
same birthday as Rocky Maivia.
Shut up.
107.
Stop.
Mr. Fuji would have been 87, R.I.P. And Orange Cassidy is 38.
Wow.
Hey, everybody. We know there's tons of podcasts to listen to, so we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. For Joey O'Farrell,
Check.
for Grandel Wrestling,
Double
go
check.
get your tickets at Grandel Wrestling, Grandel. For Lucha Chris, who
Check.
we should see, we're going to see Patriot Pat too, I think so.
We are seeing him this Sunday or Saturday. I'm
Everybody, Black Lives Matter.
Check.
Support your local weed dealers.
Double check.
Support your local restaurants. For
Double check.
Two Beer Zach Pullman out in Portland. For Jason Cornelius Bell, I am Bill
Each wild
Viggy.
bitches.
And never forget, everybody, boo the heels.
sorry.